If you've been laid off or you left your company, before you do anything with your 401k, find out all the ins and outs. Call Phillis today, 623-792-5496. That's 623-792-5496.
Thanks for joining us today. This is Retire Financially Fit with Phyllis, and I am Jen Rezac. Happy to be here with Phyllis Sachs-Pilvinus. She's founder and president of PSP and Associates. With everything that's been going on, we know a lot of you have questions about the market, how your money's doing, what you should be doing with your portfolio. So today you're going to hear a lot about Phyllis's Retire Fit analysis and how it can help you get some answers to take advantage of that Retire Fit analysis that we'll talk about throughout the show today. All you have to do is call 623-792-5496. One more time, that's 623-792-5496. And you can always check out the website retirewithpsp.com. And Phyllis, have you ever been caught off guard by anything? Am I catching you off guard right now?
Oh, yeah. I was thinking about something else. You got me off guard. That's a good thing.
I got
Keeps
you.
me sharp.
Yes, exactly. We've all been caught off guard at some point. It is not a good feeling. Now, sometimes it's funny. Some of the things my kids come up with and the questions they ask, and they put me on the spot, and I panic and I freeze and I don't know. I don't know what to say. That happens to all of us. But other times, it's more of like a physical, you feel paralyzed. Things hit you all at once. And I feel like that is something a lot of people have dealt with a lot lately, Phyllis, this kind of analysis paralysis. We're overthinking everything. We just don't know how to act because it's all hitting us all at once. Has that been happening to people lately, do you think, if they need to be making some decisions about their retirement?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just all of a sudden it all becomes real. Things are going along great and, just ticking right along. And then boom, all this chaos happens. And then, now all of a sudden, every which way, what's going to happen when?
Right.
That's exactly right.
Right.
It's really, really difficult for some people to, say, now I've got to do this. It's real.
Yeah. Well, and it's hard to know how quickly you need to make decisions too. I mean, we were talking about this a little bit offline before the show, but my parents are facing some decisions right now based on my mom's health. Do they need to go ahead and retire so they can focus on getting her better and she can focus on getting better and dad can just take care of her? And it's hard to know what type of decision to make. And I'm really learning just how difficult this decision is, Phyllis. It's been one thing for me to get on here with you for a few years now and talk about how, I know people are struggling with these decisions, but I'm living it now. And it's hard.
Absolutely. But Jen, in our conversation, what I heard from you is there was some critical thinking going on.
Yes.
All the options were flushed out, laid on the table first.
Right.
And then they're taking a step back. They're looking at all of them. They've got all the facts. And then they're going to make a well-informed decision. And it's the same thing that you need to do with retirement planning. And right now, there's a lot of chaos going on and a lot of things that you didn't think maybe you had to consider right now. You could push it down the road a little bit. We'll probably need to. But before you make knee-jerk decisions, you need to just get the facts out on the table. Get them out on the table. Where are you at in this retirement continuum? And that's what we talk about. That's exactly what our Retire Fit analysis is all about. That's what I've been, I guess you'd call it, preaching each week for over 3 years now that we've been doing this. That first and foremost, the best way to make a decision is to understand the things that you're going to be faced with and get some education, get some facts in front of you so that you can make well-informed decisions. Yes, this is a scary time, but it's going to be scarier if you just react. Let's be proactive, not reactive. And the Retire Fit analysis that we offer to you is a process that will take you through that whole analysis before you make reactive decisions. You'll be able to be proactive with it. And, that's why I encourage anybody, if you're within 10 years of retirement, even if you've already retired and you're not really crystal clear about why you're doing what, when, This is a great time let's go through this retire fit analysis process together. There's no obligation. It's complimentary. I don't know if I can help you. I don't know, you may be all set. You may not be in a position where you can really act on some of the things right now, but I'll bet you I'll give you more information than you had before you came in. And if you've done the heavy lifting, you've saved at least $250,000 or more for retirement, why wouldn't you want to get clarity during this chaotic time especially? So pick up the phone and call us at 623-792-5496. Again, 623-792-5496. And let me just tell you this, there are plenty of ways that we can get this ball rolling during this bad time. Okay, we can just pick up the phone and talk for 15 minutes if you prefer that, and I'll walk you through one-on-one what the process looks like. Then we can do a Zoom meeting where we're going to feel like we're in the room together, or perhaps if you want to come on in, we have a very big conference room. We're very clean and antiseptic. We're over 6 feet apart. We all wear masks, so there's no reason to have to put this off. Mm-hmm. Really, if you don't know the decisions that you might be faced with, or if you don't feel like you really understand your situation, now's a great time to pick up the phone and call us for your Retire Fit analysis, 623-792-5496. It's a process that will take you through all of the things that you need to look at to have a complete retirement plan. Make sure that you'll always be proactive, not reactive.
Talking today with Phillis Sachs-Pilvinas. She's founder and president of PSP and Associates. She is author of the book, Creating Calm Amidst the Storm. That phone number one more time, 623-792-5496. And Phillis, I know we've talked about this lately, but the title of your book, Creating Calm Amidst the Storm, to me, it fits what's happening right now perfectly, because we're just in the middle of all of this chaos, all of these things that are going on. There's so much uncertainty, and I know that's a word we're all tired of right now. In these uncertain times is what we've heard so many times over the past few weeks and months. But talk a little bit about how taking the time to sit down and talk with someone like you can actually create that calm amidst the storm, because we get that calm, we get that sense of peace through planning and through having some certainty and knowing what we're going to do when something happens, rather than all of that doubt and just not being sure how we're going to react when something happens.
Yeah, here's the thing. Most people are so in control of the job that they choose during their working lives and their salary. And then all of a sudden, as you get close to retirement, all these things get thrown your way, whether it's a change in health, whether it's a spouse's change in health, or whether you get downsized and now all of a sudden you don't have a job and you're older and your opportunities are less, or whether taxes go way up, or whether there's a market situation, or in this case, a health crisis. And when I wrote the book, I picked that title because I can guarantee you throughout retirement, things are going to change. Life's going to happen. Mm-hmm. Okay, I've seen it for so many years. I've been in this industry a very long time. And the way to make sure that you have that calm no matter what's thrown your way is to not just let someone like me put together a plan for you and say, here it is, you're good. But let someone like me take you through the process of what you need to consider and why you need to consider it, what's going on with your money, and what are your options to be better insulated. And the Retire Fit analysis process goes through all the pieces of what we call the retirement puzzle. It starts with helping you really understand and figure out what your budget's going to look like in retirement, for the fun things, for the discretionary expenses, for the real expenses. Then it goes through, okay, here's what we want to spend, inflation-adjusted income, but what's actually going on? What is our income plan? Is there a gap between what we're going to have coming in after we've selected the best Social Security option? And that's very complicated in and of itself. And the best pension option. What's our gap for income? Okay, there's a gap. Where should we get this money from? Well, let's look at our investments. When are we going to need this money and how much are we going to need? And with our investments, how much income are they throwing off? Do they give us dividends and interest when the market's up or down?
Running out of money is still the number one fear for baby boomers, and for good reason. Projections show that among pre-retirees, 40% of households will run short of money in retirement.
I know this is the most common fear for most of the people I work with. They want to know if they've saved enough. Everybody gets caught up in how much they've saved. But what you really need to think about is how much you'll need to spend in retirement. What could it take for you to live your ideal lifestyle for the next 30 years or maybe even longer? Even if you think you already have an income strategy, I sincerely invite you to call so we can help you to create a budget to figure out how much you'll need for the retirement you've been dreaming about. Uncover the main risks posing a threat to your retirement, including inflation, stock market volatility, potential tax increases, and yes, skyrocketing healthcare costs. And I want to help you learn about the options for generating income in retirement. And I want to help you learn how to keep your current standard of living in retirement even as these costs keep rising. So if you're listening to the show today, this is for you. It's not going to cost you anything to do this analysis, and there's no obligation. So whether you've saved lots of millions, maybe $500,000, or maybe even less, I want you to pick up the phone and call us for this retirement income analysis. And the number to do that is 623-792-5496. The strategies we use are designed to help make sure that the money won't run out no matter how long you live in retirement. We aren't doing this to make you rich or double or triple your money, but we want to make sure you don't end up outliving your retirement savings. Again, that number is 623-792-5496.
You really need to take advantage of this opportunity from Phillis to make sure you won't run out of money. And you might be able to even boost the size of your portfolio. So get started today at 623-792-5496. That's 623-792-5496. This is Retire Financially Fit with Phillis. We'll be back.
When it comes to your health, it's clear. You consult your doctor. So why not consult a professional when it comes to money? Just like your doctor, the advice you get from a financial advisor can have a direct impact on your quality of life. Are you paying too much in fees with your current financial professional? What could happen to your nest egg if there's a market correction? If you're unsure, it may be time for a second opinion. Phillis Sachs-Pilvinus is an independent advisor. She doesn't have a boss on Wall Street. Phillis and her team at PSP & Associates specialize in designing retirement strategies that can allow you to spend more time enjoying life and less time being concerned about your finances. Get your second opinion. 623-792-5496. Phillis Sachs-Pilvinus and PSP & Associates can help make sure your golden years are just that. Golden. 623-792-5496. That's 623-792-5496. Investment advisory services are offered through PSP Financial Services, LLC, an Arizona registered investment advisor. Phillis Sachs-Pilvinus is also a licensed insurance agent in the state of Arizona.
Thanks for joining us today on Retire Financially Fit with Phillis. I am Jen Rezac, happy to be here alongside Phillis Sachs-Pilvinus. Again, she is founder and president of PSP & Associates, author of the book Creating Calm Amidst the Storm. And what we want to talk about here in this part of the show is behavioral finance. Financial experts say there are behavioral factors that could influence our financial decisions. So Phillis, let me just translate that for everybody really quick. sometimes we're weird when it comes to our money, right?
We sure are.
Right? We're irrational. We make decisions we later regret. So we want to talk about how our behavior can have an impact on our money over time and what we can do to stop acting so weird when it comes to our money. I mean, how often do you see this? People's emotions getting in the way of smart decision making.
Yeah, I see it quite often.
Yeah.
And I understand it, but I see it quite often where, how they grew up influences how they think about money. How they struggled to make the money influences how they feel about it. I mean, there's just so many factors. It's very, 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 very common.
Right. And you have a phrase that I think fits in very well here when we talk about the fact that our emotions get in the way of smart decision making. We are driven by emotions and we don't want that. We need to be driven making decisions based on fact and logic. And to do that, you say, Phyllis, that we have to get financially naked. And that is uncomfortable, but talk about what that means.
Yeah, So I always also say this, building a plan for this stage of life is so different than what you've done before. Okay, during the first phase, while you're working, you grow that money that you're able to save. And it's all about the growth. At this phase, you don't get a do-over once you're close to retirement or you're in retirement. So on the front end, we really have to understand what's important to you about your money, what you want your money to do, what you need it to do, how comfortable you are with it, all of that stuff. We need to flush it out so that we can build your plan, not your neighbor's plan, your plan. And getting financially naked emotionally and laying it all out makes sense. Keeping, I got 300,000 that I won't tell her about because I want to put all the eggs in one, I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket, only presents one piece of the puzzle. So lay it all out there. It doesn't mean, oftentimes I'll have people come on in and they've been managing some of their money. And that's okay. As we build a plan, if I understand all their money and there's a piece they want to continue to manage or two pieces, we work with that in the plan. But you can't build a sensible plan unless we've got the emotional baggage on the table, so to speak, as well as all the details. Really, really, really important to get financially naked.
Yeah. And again, it's one of those things that we get uncomfortable with and we want to put it off the same way we do about a lot of times going to the doctor. I don't want to deal with having to put on that terrible gown and all
naked.
I don't want to I don't want to have to get on the scale and have someone else looking over my shoulder and writing it all down. It's not comfortable, but it's important. If I want to be healthy, I have to make sure that I go and I do this every year. And so it's kind of similar to that idea of being physically healthy. There are some parallels there, right?
Absolutely. And that also brings to mind, I don't know about you, but yeah, I really struggle with doing that.
Yeah.
So I've got to really like the doctor and the team and feel like they really care about me and I'm not just another number or it's just rote.
Right.
That they're going to listen to me, that they're going to, try to figure out what's going on. And the same thing, I would say right up there on all the list of things that you need to consider that when you're looking for someone to help you with this stage of life, do you connect? Mm-hmm. Do you feel like that person, that advisor, that strategist is listening to you and cares about you? I'll just give you an example. And, this is what keeps me so inspired and passionate about what I do. I do it because I do care. You all know, I've talked to you about my story. I just found out when my dad passed away, suddenly at 59, that there was a real disconnect in the type of advice that my mother needed and what she got. And I've made this my passion. Anyway, I'm sitting across the table. It's a second meeting with these folks. And wow, as we're talking about their money, really diving into it even more than we had on the first, wife got really, really, really emotional about it. She did. Wow. She started to cry and She looked at me, she goes, I'm sorry, I apologize. I said, no need to. She goes, you know what? I really feel like this was okay to do with you. I just have that sense. And that's really important. Okay. Right. We're all going to be emotional. Let's do it on the front end, but do it with someone you know that it's not going to get lost. So that was so important to her that we have to build a plan around that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the emotional part of it. That's why I want people to get emotional, financially naked, and you can't do that unless you have a sense of connection.
Right, right. Otherwise, you just stay closed off. You're not sharing. And if you're not sharing, then you're not getting answers. You're not getting solutions. And I mean, that's what you're here for, is helping us
That's exactly
solutions.
Right. And it's not just about the logical, how much money you can make, or it's about what you need the money to do and when to build the appropriate plan for you. It really is. And that's, gosh, I put my heart and soul into it. That's what we're all about, helping to listen to your story, pull it out, understand what's important to you in your life, then really taking a look at all of the pieces of your financial situation, analyzing those and seeing where you are in relationship to that. But it all starts with having a connection, understanding what's important to you so we can take the emotions out of it and build a plan around that. And that, our Retire Fit analysis takes you through all of those steps. What do you want your money to do? Why do you want it to do that? And what's your money doing in relationship to that? So I really, really, hope that you pick up the phone. I urge you to pick up the phone and call us for that Retire Fit analysis to make sure you're on track. You're separating the emotions. You're laying them out there, but separating them when you build your plan. So to get started with our no obligation, complimentary Retire Fit analysis, you need to have saved at least $250,000 or more for retirement, so that we can put things in the right places and build that plan. Mm-hmm. And you need to pick up the phone and call us right away so we can get you in on our busy calendar, 623-792-5496.
That number one more time is 623-792-5496 to get started on the Retire Fit analysis. It's all about helping you be financially fit. Just like it's important to be physically fit, you also need to be financially fit. And it's hard because we make a lot of emotional decisions, even with our physical health as well, Phyllis. I sometimes have a hard time eating things or not eating things. I know tortilla chips. Don't need to eat those all the time, but man, I really like them. Do you
ever find that you eat for emotional reasons?
Yeah,
you just eat stuff that you normally wouldn't until you figure out the emotion and you lay it out and you sort it out. You find yourself doing it and doing it and doing it. Mm-hmm. I've been in that cycle.
Right.
Yikes.
And it's even one of those things too where I don't even enjoy it because I know I'm eating this thing for the wrong reason. It's like I didn't even really want it all that bad. It was just what I did. And it's one thing to do that every now and then with what we're eating. And then, I can make myself right again. I can balance that out. But it's time to sound the alarm that higher taxes are probably coming. And time could be running out for you to do something about it. Most people don't realize we are in a low tax rate environment, but these taxes aren't going to remain on sale forever. They're likely to go up soon. But even at their current low rates, taxes could swipe away at your savings, leaving you with a fraction of the money you were counting on for retirement.
Please don't assume that you won't be impacted by President Biden's proposed tax increases because maybe you don't think you're wealthy enough. I bet just about everyone, that includes you, has a few areas where you can become more tax efficient with your retirement money. That's why If you're listening to the show today, I want to help you. I want to help you understand the potential impact taxes can have on your retirement savings. I want to help you learn about ways to reduce or possibly eliminate taxes in retirement. And I want to help you create an income strategy so your retirement income lasts as long as you need it to. So if you're listening to the show today, this is for you. Whether you have $500,000 to several million, or maybe not quite as much saved, we can help you go over your retirement accounts and uncover what your possible tax liabilities are in the future. And we could talk about some of the strategies that could help you reduce your taxes down the road. It could mean tens of thousands of dollars back in your pocket to spend it the way you want to spend it in retirement. Remember, there's no cost, there's no obligation, but this means you have to pick up the phone now and call us today. And that number is 623-792-5496.
There's just a short window of opportunity to take action to keep taxes from taking too much of a bite out of your savings. It could mean tens of thousands of dollars back in your pocket. 623-792-5496. Retire Financially Fit with Phyllis continues in just a moment. Stay with us. Thanks for joining us today on Retire Financially Fit with Phyllis. I am Jen Rezac, happy to be here with Phyllis Sachs-Pilvinus. She is founder and president of PSP and Associates. She is author of the book Creating Calm Amidst the Storm, and today she is helping us recognize some of our behaviors and emotional tendencies that can have an impact on our financial decisions. And we want to stop doing this, quite honestly. We need to, just like we don't want to eat our emotions, we don't want to necessarily spend our emotions or make decisions based on emotions either. So Phyllis, let's talk about some of because behavioral science, it's a thing now. It's something that's been studied, and there are some different behaviors that have been identified. So let's talk about some of those. What are some of the behaviors that we can fall into, some of those behavioral traps?
So here's the thing. You want to think, do I fall into this? Is this me?
Right.
So confirmation bias, that's where you look for what somebody else has done, or something you read about that says, well, they did it, so I'll do it.
Right.
Or, and that's just not your situation. You have your own financial DNA. You want to be aware that you need to see if it's appropriate for you. Right. Somebody claims Social Security at 62. Well, they did it. Well, that may be appropriate for them.
Right.
But it's a big mistake if you just do it because they did it.
Right. And how this can play out, I mean, since you mentioned Social Security, if you believe that it is better to take Social Security early, and you were to Google, why is it better to take Social Security early? You're going to find articles that support that, versus when should I take Social Security? Or, it's just this tendency that we have to find evidence, to seek evidence that supports what we already believe. So we're backing ourselves up whether or not it's actually right for us. So talk about in an instance like Social Security, if we have an idea of what we want to do and we're only finding out information that backs us up, how could that potentially be a problem?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Social Security is going to go away soon, so I got to take it now.
Right.
Well, I mean, that could cause you, if you take it too early in certain circumstances, that could cause you to run out of money later on in life. So you can have that idea, you could lean with that, but now let your numbers, tell the story. Okay, so let's flush that out. Let's understand what you're thinking and all the supporting documentation around it. And then let's look at your personal circumstances, everything, not just that in a vacuum, and see if it makes sense, because it could take away hundreds of thousands of dollars. And the reverse is true too.
Right. Right. What about as we continue looking at some of these biases, the ways that we act? Availability bias is another one that I've read a little bit about, and I think this one can trip us up as well. Can you explain what that one is?
Yeah, so that's when you just take a shortcut on your judgment about the likelihood that something's going to occur. Because, let's think about Bitcoin, for example. You could either say, oh, there's been other fads and that's ridiculous, or Bitcoin is here to stay, and you can just look for evidence that way. Or
right.
One plane crashes, every plane's going to crash.
Yes, right. Because it's a very newsworthy thing when something like that happens. So you think about, a plane crash or something like that. It's big. You hear about it when it happens. So then you think it's going to happen far more often than it actually will. And we can kind of go there with the money as well. You think about a market crash or this stock going crazy. Think about GameStop or whatever. Oh, I find all these articles, so this is what is going to happen. But that shouldn't be guiding us, right?
That's exactly right. Exactly. Again, you have your own financial DNA. What do you need your money to do? And what could happen, what might happen, really might not have any impact. I mean, shouldn't have an impact on the plan that you build. It really shouldn't.
Right. And I want to do one more here as well. Overconfidence is another behavior. A lot of people think their personal odds of success are far greater than what is actually likely. I was reading some stats about, Phyllis, small business owners, for example, the people who believed they would be successful versus what the actual numbers were, how long small businesses, how many of them actually shut their doors within the first year versus how successful people think they're going to be. We need to be realistic about our actual ability to be successful when it comes to things like investing and making these financial decisions, right?
Oh yeah, you have to have real numbers to support. So let me just give you a perfect example.
Okay.
The market's been doing really well for the most part over these past 10 years. Phenomenal. So now all of a sudden everybody thinks, well, I'm just going to do great. It's always going to do great. I'm doing it. And then sometimes, even if they have a great rate of return, when we look at their whole plan, not to be Debbie Downer, how much are they going to actually keep after they're done paying taxes?
Eek.
It's not even realistic. And is it possible? I mean, is the market just going to go up because you're that smart, or is it going up because that's just a trend that could end?
Right.
So yeah, that's a really scary one, to be overconfident. Now, it's great to have confidence and to have skill and to work hard. I don't ever undermine that, but you got to have some facts that back up the legitimacy of that confidence.
Right. And we don't want to be overconfident, but we do want to be confident.
Absolutely.
Talk a little bit about how your Retire Fit analysis can help give us some of that confidence, but temper it so we're not overconfident.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Again, what do we need the money to do? Your money, your life, what would you like your retirement to look like? And what's your money doing in relationship to that? Are there gaps? If there are gaps, how can we set it up so that no matter what life throws your way, you can see with real fact that you're going to navigate through that situation? So in other words, if the market crashes tomorrow, you're still going to have your income. You see it, it's factual, because that's the way you've set it up. You've got the facts in front of you. That's what a Retire Fit analysis will do. It'll identify what you need your money to do, what the money's doing, and if there are any gaps in what you need it to do and what it's doing. And then we'll go through the Retire Fit process that will help you build a plan that will put things in motion so it will do what you need it to do.
To get started on that, let me just throw out the phone number really quickly. If you'd like to get going with the Retire Fit analysis, 623-792-5496 is that number. That's 623-792-5496. And Phyllis, there's one more behavior that I think it's important for us to talk about. I have kids. I am very familiar with the fear of missing out. Everybody always thinks they are missing out on something, what somebody else got to do in their class and what one of their friends got to do. And we think that's a thing that just kids do, but we're like this too. We don't want to miss out on the good things that others are experiencing, the big gains that they're bragging about, or the new homes that they're posting pictures of, or the nice vacations that they've posted pictures of on Facebook, all these things. But what happens to us, Phyllis, if we are driven by that fear of missing out?
Or all the gains that the market has, is giving people. Right. This is why people oftentimes jump in too late. They jump in just as the market's going to crash. So again, let's identify what you need your money to do, and let's build a plan that supports that. And when we put the logic, when we show you your numbers, it helps take that away. Okay, it helps takes that, inevitable greed. We all want the best.
Right.
But when we can see the downside of that, what will happen if we have too much at risk, and the actual ramifications of that, it helps put things into perspective. So the fear of missing out is dangerous if you do it blindly. So again, our whole process just really lays out what's happening to your money, with your money as you have it set up right now, and what would happen if you have too much at risk, too little at risk. It puts some real fact into it.
Only 4% of Americans are taking Social Security at the optimal time, and that means most of us are taking our benefits at the wrong time, and we are losing out on tens of thousands of dollars over a lifetime.
The average household could be missing out on about $110,000 in unclaimed Social Security benefits, and that's because of people taking their benefits at the wrong time. Unfortunately, not many financial advisors are willing to talk about this. I don't know about you, but to me, $100,000 is a significant amount of money, and I wouldn't want to accidentally miss out on a benefit like that. There are a lot of variables that you need to consider before you start taking Social Security. So I am offering a free Social Security analysis to help you sort through all the different options for how to claim your benefits. I want to help you learn about the potential impact your decisions can have on your taxes, on your Medicare, on spousal benefits, and even more. And I want to help you pinpoint the precise time to start taking your Social Security to make sure you are not missing out on tens of thousands of dollars in benefits. The Social Security Administration can't help you with any of this. They can help you with the facts about your Social Security, but they can't teach you how to make the most out of your benefit. That's what our Social Security analysis can do for you when you call us at 623-792-5496. Remember, Social Security is one of the most important financial decisions that you'll ever make. So if you've saved at least $250,000 or more and you've not started taking your benefits yet, call me right away so that you can get this Social Security analysis at 623-792-5496.
You heard that right. You could be missing out on tens of thousands of dollars in lifetime income, or you could be living your best case scenario. It's just a matter of claiming your Social Security at the right time. So call now for that free Social Security analysis at 623-792-5496.
When it comes to your health, it's clear. You consult your doctor. So why not consult a professional when it comes to money? Just like your doctor, the advice you get from a financial advisor can have a direct impact on your quality of life. Are you paying too much in fees with your current financial professional? What could happen to your nest egg if there's a market correction? If you're unsure, it may be time for a second opinion. Phillis Sachs Pilvinus is an independent advisor. She doesn't have a boss on Wall Street. Phillis and her team at PSP and Associates specialize in designing retirement strategies that can allow you to spend more time enjoying life and less time being concerned about your finances. Get your second opinion. 623-792-5496. Phillis Sachs Pilvinus and PSP and Associates can help make sure your golden years are just that. Golden. 623-792-5496. That's 623-792-5496. Investment advisory services are offered through PSP Financial Services, LLC, an Arizona registered investment advisor. Phillis Sachs Pilvinus is also a licensed insurance agent in the state of Arizona.
Is your retirement plan ready for the long haul? Get a second opinion today from Phillis Sachs Pilvinus. Just call 623-792-5496. That's 623-792-5496.
Thanks for joining us today on Retire Financially Fit with Phyllis. I am Jen Rezac, happy to be here with Phillis Sachs Pilvinus. She is founder and president of PSP and Associates and author of the book Creating Calm Amidst the Storm. RetireWithPSP.com is the website if you'd like to learn a little bit more. And Phyllis, retirees face a lot of different choices when they get to retirement. It can feel like quite a dilemma trying to make a final decision with what you'll do and where you'll go. And then there are all these tough financial decisions as well. It's kind of like the longest game of Would You Rather that you'll ever play. So we're going to play Would You Rather with retirement. But first, here's the first big question in our version of the game, Phyllis. Would you rather only be able to use a fork and no spoon, or only a spoon and no fork for the rest of your life? It's hard.
Yeah, that is a hard one. I would probably say I'm more of a fork person because I just want to nail it down.
Okay.
I'm more concrete that way.
Yeah?
Like I want my plan. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to use a fork and I'm going to get a hold of it and I'm going to, control it.
All right. See, I have a hard time because I love cereal so much.
Oh, yeah.
And I couldn't do cereal with a fork. I don't know.
I didn't think about that. Yeah,
Right?
And how about yogurt? Yeah.
Yeah, yogurt with I've done yogurt with a fork before at my desk when I didn't have a plastic spoon and all I had was a fork. It can be done.
Messy.
It's not my favorite, but it can be done. I don't know.
That's
I don't like these
question.
choices. These are too
That's
tough.
a tough question. Yeah,
I know.
It really is.
I know. All right, let's move on to something about retirement because the
I haven't played this game since I had my kids on a long ride. Yeah, this is good.
It's a good road
They were
trip
little.
game. Yes,
that's right.
All right, so let's think about retirement a little bit here. Would you rather? How about this? Okay, would you rather live in an RV? But you have to sleep in a different state every week for the rest of your life. You have to keep moving. Or live in a house and never be able to leave your county again. Like go everywhere all the time or never go anywhere. What would you do?
All right. Is there a pandemic going on or not?
Let's live in a world with no pandemics.
Okay.
You're free.
Yeah. All right. I'm not quite the RV person. My husband laughs because I have too many shoes to fit in one. Yeah. But yeah, I would take the RV and the adventure
and just
of
keep
a
going.
state.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you?
I would go that way too, but Jeff would 100% want to be in a house and never leave the county ever again. So that one, I feel like I shouldn't answer on my own without discussion.
No, that's true.
Husband.
I just went ahead and I've been married so long. Harry would be happy wife is a happy life.
Harry will just go with you. It'll be fine. All right. All right. Here's a good one. Would you rather retire? I don't want to do either one of these. Would you rather retire on a cruise ship and go cruising for the rest of your life? And again, there's no pandemic. We're not going to worry about that. Okay. Or would you want to retire in Scott or Marissa's basement?
Oh, gosh. I love my kids and they're great kids. First of all, in Arizona, they don't have basements and they probably never will.
Right. But in their
if
house,
they did, I'd still want to be in that cruise ship.
Yeah?
As long as I could see them often. As long as I could see them. I do not want to be in their basement.
No, I don't want to be. I don't want to be in one of my kids' basements or attics or spare rooms or anything. No,
that's right.
I
That's
think I
right.
would choose the cruise ship also, especially since our game of Would You Rather is pandemic free. It is
That's right.
germ free, and we can cruise. Okay. Okay. Well, we're doing all of this because some of our retirement decisions feel like this game of Would You Rather, right? You're just weighing all these decisions. It's really hard. Phyllis, if it was up to you, would you rather take the lump sum or the pension payment if that was your option? What would you do?
Oh, well, I mean,
It's a tough one.
I'm a retirement planner.
Right.
And as a retirement planner, with all the instability of companies and how I worry about the government being able to bail out these underfunded pensions, I take the lump sum.
Okay.
And the other thing is I have 2 kids and, now I have my grandbaby. And if something happened to Harry and I really quickly, I would want to make sure that my kids got what we worked hard for in a pension.
Right.
And if you take the monthly payout,
They
it
don't
goes
get
to
anything.
your spouse, but they don't get anything.
Right, okay.
So I'm inclined to say, if I've got to be backed into a corner, I'm going to take the lump sum. Now, having said that, that's very tricky. You got to work with the right advisor who's going to give you the right guidance, unless you know all the ins and outs of it yourself. Because I would never tell anybody, oh yeah, let me take that. I'm going to make more money than your monthly payout.
Mm-hmm.
That's tricky. That's tricky. There are ways to set it up appropriately. But you've got to weigh and measure. Okay, so and that's a good point. If someone has the option and you're concerned about the stability of the company, make sure that you understand what you're doing with that lump sum and make sure it's secure versus, just willy-nilly put it in stocks and bonds and then it's a disappearing ink. And we do that with people every day. We really weigh the pros and cons and show them the dollars and cents of taking the lump sum and taking the payout so that they can make a well-informed decision because they're the CEO of their money. And everybody's goals are different.
Yeah.
But that's mine. How about you?
Yeah, I really like that point that you make about the lump sum. I always worry about that, like managing the lump sum, but you're right. If you have those pensions and something were to happen to me, I would want to make sure that my kids would be provided for and that my kids would have access to that, and they're just not going to have it with the way it would traditionally be set up. So that's definitely something to think about. I kind of think.
But I'm going to say this. Over the years, I've seen people who've taken lump sums and they didn't get the best advice.
Okay.
And the money went way too fast. So if you're going to do that, make sure you really understand how to build your own retirement plan and you have a plan and you have an income plan.
Right.
And very, very, very important.
So I think that's a good place to give the phone number when you talk about making sure you know how to manage that you have an income plan so that way the money will last as long as you need it to last. Because if you just take that lump sum and you just start spending it as needed, using it like a giant ATM, that's probably not going to be the most successful way to go about this.
Yeah.
So let me give the phone number. 623-792-5496 is the way to reach Phyllis Sachs-Pilvinus. She's founder and president of PSP and Associates. 623-792-5496 to get started on a real income plan, because Phyllis, just having a bunch of money saved, whether it's that lump sum, whether it's what you have in your 401k, wherever that money is, just having all that money saved and taking money out when you need it is not an income plan.
It is not an income plan at all. It is a plan for disaster.
Right.
Doing it that way, yeah.
623-792-5496 again is the way to reach Phyllis Sachs-Pilvinus to get started on having an income plan for retirement. Here is another as we play this game of Would You Rather. I think you're going to like this one, Phyllis. Would you rather pay taxes now or pay taxes later?
Oh, gosh. Absolutely pay them now.
Get it over with.
However, strategically paying it now.
Okay.
We need to understand everything about those taxes, see the numbers, and be very strategic. I don't want somebody to think, hey, you've got $1 million pre-tax account, a retirement account that you got to pay taxes on later. And I'm saying, hey, cash it all out now, pay the taxes because they're lower. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, how do we build a tax efficient plan where we take advantage of the lower rates strategically? There are lots of good ways to do it, to pay it sooner than later. We're doing this every day with people and helping them to save a considerable amount of money. And that's why it starts with understanding not just what you're going to pay on April 15th, but looking at a macro view of your taxes. Our goal is to make sure you understand the total taxes that you're going to pay over your lifetime, and then help you minimize those logically with a really good distribution strategy.
Talk a little bit about a distribution strategy, what exactly that means, just for those who aren't quite familiar with that term. What is that?
Okay, a distribution strategy is how do you take that nest egg and take it out properly over your lifetime to make up your income plan? Take it out, where do you take it from and when? We've got to consider where we take it out from a risk position, how much market risk we're taking. We've got to figure out where we're going to take it from a tax position. Do we want to take it from a low-risk account right away, a mid-risk account, or a high-risk account when it comes to market risk? Do we want to take it out of money, tax diversification, after tax, pre-tax, or, always tax money, taxes that you're paying as you go? How do we want to make that up? A distribution strategy is one that considers both elements of where you take the money from an investment standpoint and from a tax perspective. We need proper diversification and a balanced plan to minimize taxes and to minimize risk. And that's what we do all the time. Too many people we see ignore the tax aspect of it. They may do the risk aspect, but they ignore the tax aspect. And that is a big impediment to your future. So call us. We'll show you what we're talking about. Right. 623-792-5496.
So really, Phyllis, it sounds like as we wrap up our game of Would You Rather, the big question is, would you rather have a plan that allows you to live life on your own terms, or would you rather take your chances and live your life on the government's terms, which is what will happen if you don't take action now, right? So talk about how we can make sure we live it on our own terms.
Yeah, living it on your own terms is being proactive, not reactive, and understanding that all the rules change as you start to transition into retirement. And what you really need is a plan that says, here is my written income plan. Here's where I'm going to take the money from when. Here is my tax strategy. Here's why I'm taking money from this account, that account, this account. I know my strategy. Here's my healthcare strategy. Be proactive, not reactive, and understand it. Don't let somebody else. You do it every day, Phyllis. Here, take my money and just do it. My goals may be different, or my understanding of your goals may be different than yours. So we should partner together to look at where you want to be in retirement, exactly where you are now, and how to build a plan to get you on course if you're off in any area. Retire Fit analysis, what was required is your time. Okay, but it is no obligation. It's complimentary, and we'll do it on the phone. We'll do it on Zoom. We'll do it face-to-face with a mask. 623-792-5496.
You've been listening to Retire Financially Fit with Phyllis. Remember that number, 623-792-5496. Be sure to tune in again next week for more insights from Phyllis. I'm Jen Rezac. Thanks for spending some time with us here today. Have a great week. Stay safe. Stay healthy. We'll talk to you next time. Investment advisory services are offered through PSP Financial Services, LLC, an Arizona registered investment advisor. PSP Financial Services is an independent financial services firm that helps people create retirement strategies using a variety of insurance and investment products. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to safety, security, or guaranteed lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investment products. Insurance and annuity product guarantees are backed backed by the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing insurance company. PSP Financial Services, LLC is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during this show shall constitute tax or legal advice. You should talk to a qualified professional before making any decisions about your personal situation. We are not affiliated with the U.S. government or any governmental agency. This radio show is a paid placement.